Okay, just a little car quickie. So I was just driving and I was getting off the highway to the light, and there's always, at this particular intersection, there's always homeless people with, signs asking for money. And I pulled up like front row, so he's like right next to me. And God, it's so fascinating watching these tiny little dynamics inside of us that aren't tiny at all, because my actual body's instinct is to not look at him and to roll up my window. And that's just about any time with any homeless person. I can't think of one time where like I actually wanted to engage with them, much less give them anything. But society teaches you to open yourself up and be kind and compassionate and all of that value kind of illusion, and that you should feel bad for people suffering and all the other programming that is around, basically feeling bad for other people's misfortune, and therefore overriding your own intimate instincts about what you actually want to do, because you want to appear like you're a good, loving person, even though you already are, and you just don't want to surrender to illusion. So it just made me think about how most people engage like this in their relationships most of the time. Is you're always, often getting some kind of no instinct, like I did in this moment with this homeless man. It was a no. And if I were to try to override that with my mind, I would be the one that was suffering under the guise of, trying to lessen somebody else's suffering by leaving my field to try to exchange some kind of experience with the other person, which is very false. So this is what's happening in people's relationships with each other all fucking day. These moments that aren't little at all, where the experience, like the intimate experience of your body, is being overridden by you because you want to appear in a certain way and you want to keep a certain identity and you want to keep the status of your relationship with that person in a certain place, which is a box that you put yourself in and that you put them in, that actually is ironically completely preventing the intimacy that you actually want. And so, as you can probably, maybe, hopefully see, maybe not, it's a very counterproductive way of going about getting what you actually want. I mean, in this case, it's a little different because I don't give a fuck about this homeless man. Like, not on the level of having any kind of relationship with him, but obviously. But if you're experiencing this in your closest relationships, and like I saw this post somewhere this morning, and it was talking about how like the highest way to engage in a relationship is through this intimate exchange of give and take. But it's totally bullshit. Because what people do in this illusion of giving and taking in their relationship, that's surrender. It's leaving behind your actual guidance inside of you that you're meant to obey. It's leaving that behind in order to exchange and give and to take with another, which like have you noticed how just out in society and in movies and in like just the collective's perception of like relationship dynamics, especially as it pertains to men and women, there's just this overarching flavor that's very unflavorful of suffering, like of suffering and resentment. And that's because people are doing this shit all damn fucking day, and you're not catching what's going on. And then you're suffering for it because you're going against yourself in order to maintain the relationship in a very particular way that is not of the truth. And the true way you actually want to do your relationships, anything, any of them, it's not through give and take, and it's not by putting yourself in this really limited box and container. It's in the way that's actually true to you, which inevitably creates the magic that you actually seek. So the other way of going about it is extremely counterproductive, and it's the only reason that you suffer in relationships, and then why collectively there's this idea that love and relationships are like somehow inherently predicated on this inevitable suffering, but that has nothing to do with the truth of intimacy. It's the opposite. It's supposed to be an extremely magical experience, but it can't when you're not trusting yourself. So yeah, had to pull over to create this.